externally looking at things that relate to the business that you're doing, right? So in healthcare, we're looking at our patient metrics and data, and we're trying to measure some of that as it relates to the same metrics that I mentioned. So representation and headcount. What does our patient data look like in representation? Because we would love to mirror our staff to our patient demographic as well. It helps us to determine things like how many bilingual employees might we need depending on the folks that are coming through our doors. And so there's that type of external engagement. I also think community engagement and what you're doing externally is something that you can measure as well. But it is definitely nuanced depending on what industry you're coming
Yeah.
from.
I think a lot of the time we only think about workforce representation. And while that is incredibly important, it can't just end there. And so
Mhm.
even at that level, disaggregating it, considering intersectionality, going beyond race plus gender, plus whatever different identities we can capture and that our employees are comfortable expressing, and then comparing that to the service population, as Ekua mentioned. Is our workforce meaningfully representative of the population served? And I don't just mean that in the tokenism point where we say, okay, we have one Puerto Rican employee and therefore we need to, going beyond that to be meaningful about this and consider what does your strategic planning process look like for DEI? Because again, as Ekua said, this is subjective. While there are certain metrics that can be streamlined and that are incredibly beneficial to have across any organization, if you have something specific on your plan, such as wanting to expand your recruitment sources to reach BIPOC communities, for example, what do your recruitment source success rates look like? Where are you currently tapping into? Who is being extended an offer? Who is accepting those offers? So again, going beyond that basic level of representation and digging into the nuances and the individual processes that are leading into that bigger goal that we have here.